And here's our new power entrance facility with the private pole, and it is live. And so we no longer have the ghetto wire hanging going over the side of the house. We are 2 or 3 feet too far to not have a guy wire, so we had to put in a guy wire. Here's the back of the box. It sticks out a little bit here because the gazebo, fortunately, we're on the back side. I think it'll be fairly easy to do something to make that unobtrusive. What happened was we accidentally made the measurement from this part of the box, and the box actually comes up to here. Of course, this can be cut back. We're borrowing Tim Johannes's Kubota. He's a neighbor up there near DaCosta. So we are going to do some trenching. So we're hand trenching this. Of course, this is downspouts for the gutters. There'll also be a pipe for any perf drains that ring the property. They're going to go into a nice box that can be cleaned out, and then have 2 drains going out that way. What we're going to try to avoid is, you can see that old drain completely plugged with no way of really cleaning it out. So we're going to make, where that never happens again. We'll be trenching electric, and then the water will tie in up underneath here. Okay, so the pipe from the street comes up underneath here. It had broken previously, and we are going to be trenching a new water line down this way. So we were thinking of going ahead and putting a nice box here, a box for valves and stuff like that has to go somewhere, and having it against the wall, a little unobtrusive. It'll be a nice sized box with a lid, and it'll have a valve for any kind of landscaping. We want to go this way. It'll have a valve for the landscaping going that way. We'll kind of overbuild with just a few extra valves, and then that way we'll have plenty of future that we want to do. So we're going to be bringing electrical out this way anyway, going to the garage. So they'll share the same trench, and they have to be certain inches apart, and we'll just follow code. But since we're going to be having a line trenched over somehow for the electric anyway, what we want to do is run the water into that building, loop it, come right back out. The advantages of that are, well, then we have some water in the garage. But most importantly, so that in the future we can put 1 or 2 big 100-gallon tanks and a pressure tank or little pump. Because even though we're going to have nice 1-inch water lines, we only have like a 3/4, 5/8, whatever from the city. And so if 4 showers are going, and a dishwasher and a jacuzzi is filling, and yada yada yada, we will lose water pressure. So we want to possibly in the future have some big tanks, so that everybody could do stuff like that for a solid hour, or whatever we do, and never feel a loss of water pressure. And then when the massive load is gone, the city's water limited supply can refill those tanks and the pressure vessel. I was thinking in here as just a good spot to hide them instead of having to build some other little building. This is mostly covered in dirt anyway, so you got some thermal mass. And then on the inside where the tanks are, we just build a little 2x4 room around it with some insulation and a 60-watt light bulb. And those tanks never freeze. We never have an issue. And but we wouldn't be putting those in necessarily right away. But we want to go ahead and pipe it over there, and we'll insulate it so that it won't ever freeze. And then if we want real easily, you can have just a little sink in there. But more than likely, it's just to prep it for that. If we never ever used it, we never ever used it. But we got to penetrate in there and get in there for electrical anyway, hoping to use the exact same trench path. There's possibly an issue I won't go into. It's with me dying by a giant sneeze. About too many bends for the electrical to loop around that and come all the way over. There's a limit to the number of bends in an electrical pipe for fishing the wires. So we may have to do another small trench coming out this way just for the electrical to here. So that may or may not be an issue, and I shouldn't even bring it up. Since we have the Kubota backhoe accessible here for a few days, we're going to start this on Monday because the next 2 days are supposed to have rain. And then a week of dry. So, as I mentioned, water lines trenching out to here, mating up with electrical lines and all that. Okay. and with some valves way out there to go for landscaping or whatever. So when we get to here, I'm going to go ahead and continue to trench out this way, and we'll have a line that's valved out there and just an unused line coming out this way for any future landscaping. And we don't know who, what, where, when, or why, but we have the Kubota now. Now is the time to dig a trench. And it'll just come out here, and who knows, may just end up getting abandoned. As a matter of fact, I'll probably end up running the line back towards the electric, pop it out somewhere, because obviously we want some water, you know, the gazebo type thing. And so we just want to have some flexibility in that regard. So whether we ever had a garden here or whatever we did, there would be a line. We'll just pop it up, but it turns out we want it somewhere else. We would just dig down, relocate the line, continue it, or cut back, whatever we wanted to do. But I was just going to take a few minutes to dig that extra trench and put that extra line in. The point of that last little segment was to ask you, any other trenching you can think of, now's the time to do it, because we have the Kubota. We are going to end up trenching just a perforated French drain. You know, you put those pipes in with the holes down here, and it'll tie into that non-perf pipe I mentioned right here. Downspouts will tie into a non-perf pipe and all that. Thinking to delay on that because all this stuff's in the way and we don't know if we want it here or here or here, you know. And so it's not like it's that big a deal to either reborrow this from the friend or they rent for a couple $100 a day. And we just do that in the future. But I'm saying if there's any trenching you can think of that's just not right here that you would want done, you know, hey, now's a good time to do it. The guys are putting in a Joe window there, and then a Joe window will be put up here. And so that's what's going on.